Social media has changed, and only when I stopped listening to mainstream advice did I actually get amazing results on social media. Only when I stopped niching down did my Instagram actually blow up, and that was when also my clients got the craziest results, and one of my clients scaled to 7K a month with his school community. And that is again because we stopped listening to this horrible piece of advice called niche down. And I thought that if I didn't niche down, I would only attract broke people, or I would only attract unqualified people, and I would only get views but make no money. But that's just not true. And I think that's the biggest cope that social media influencers have ever shared, because they're just social media coaches who don't know how to get views on social media. So they just hide it under this blanket of saying, hey, getting views will not make you money, and I'm purposefully not getting views. I'm purposefully not going viral. Fuck that, bro. We both know that that's not true. And I want to break down to you the truth, at least according to my experiences. Right, I've scaled some businesses to 7 figures a year now, all just with a personal brand. And all of those, or most of those, were broad. The broader the brand, the higher the profit margins, the easier it was, the faster we scaled, and the less work we had. If niching down is so amazing, why does Alex Hormozi have a broad personal brand? Did you know that Alex Hormozi sells an $18,000 consulting offer that is completely niche? Yet, he has one of the broadest personal brands on the planet. Did you know that Daniel Dalen is selling a $15,000 mastermind offer? Because the biggest misconception is that when you have a broad audience, you will need to sell a broad product. I get it, you want to sell a niche product to rich people, that's understandable, but you don't need to niche down for that. You can still have a broad audience and broad content and sell to niche people, to rich people. And it's actually easier to do it that way, and I'll explain in just a moment why. Because you must understand, and I've explained this in a lot of my videos, niching down has no place in social media, not organic social media. There's no point, not even in ads. Because when you niche down, you're basically excluding all the other people who could have profited from your content, because you're basically creating this messaging around only rich people and teaching people how to get from 7 to 8 figures a year, or 8 to 9 figures a year, or I only want to work with rich people, or this and that. Sure, do that, go ahead. There's really no point, because social media is not built for niching down. Social media is built to target as many people as possible and keep them on their platform for as long as possible, to show them as many ads as possible and make as much money as possible. Do you know what Netflix said their biggest competitor was? Sleep. And you're trying to tell me that you're not supposed to keep as many people on the platform for as long as possible? That's how this whole game works. So if you're going to have niche content, the algorithm is automatically going to think, okay, why should I show people this type of content that only applies to 1% of people, if I could show them this other piece of content that applies to the 1%, but an additional 5 to 6 to 10% of people, just because it's more broader, but it serves the niche audience and it serves the broader audience. Because you must understand, a broad audience is just a collection of a bunch of niche audiences. So why would you only have the rich people if you can have the rich people and the broke people, and therefore blow up and go completely fucking viral, and therefore also reach way more rich people? Well, it's because of ego. There's so many people out there who are just way too arrogant to do so. They think, oh, I just want to serve rich people. I just want to work with rich people. You're not rich. Why are you sitting there trying to climb your way to rich people, thinking, oh, I want to serve them. I want to serve them. I only want to help rich people. No, why are you not having an impact of thousands, tens of hundreds of thousands, if not millions or billions of people, and simultaneously sell to rich people? Well, a lot of people think that they're going to take a hit for going broad. They think if they go broad, they're going to attract less of the rich people. But I'm trying to tell you that you're going to attract more of the rich people, because the algorithm is designed to reach people that way with broad content, right? Of course, percentage-wise, you're going to definitely have way less people of your niche than if you had niche content. Maybe you have 10% of people in your niche, and 90% of people are not going to be in your niche, and they're going to be unqualified. You're going to think, fuck, my life is ruined. No, it's not. You still have marketing that filters for the rich people. For example, me, I create content about personal branding, but my landing page will show them immediately that they will need to have an established business making around 10 to 20 to 30K a month, so that I can help them scale to 7 figures a year, because I've done that multiple times. But somebody who makes no money at all, who's an absolute beginner, will learn a lot from my videos. But once he's on my landing page, he will learn that my product is not for him. Yet he's still able to learn from my free value, and the ones who will be able to pay will book a call. And matter of fact, the people who don't have the money will still help me push my content to more people, because they will still like the content, they will still comment, they will still subscribe, they will still share, they will still save, and they will still push the algorithm to show my content to more people. That is how social media works. Don't get fooled on social media by people who tell you, oh, you need to niche down. Fuck that, bro. These people just don't know how to get views. I've blown up multiple personal brands now to hundreds of thousands of views. I remember this guy, Oscar Patel, who I worked with, who was a looks maxing coach. I'm not going to name any names, but we have literally gotten clients who've paid us thousands of dollars just to show them how to become healthier and look better. People who work one-on-one with Alex Ramosi. People who are on the back end of Andrew Tate. Huge fucking people. We've worked with some of the best friends of Central C. And those rich people have only worked with us because we've had a funnel that filtered for the rich people, but that targeted the entire broad audience, that contains the rich people, the niche audience. And that is all that you need to know. Stop niching down. Target the broad audience that contains the niche audience and filter for the niche audience inside your marketing, inside your middle funnel and inside your bottom funnel, and then sell to the niche audience. I want to thank you for your time, and I'm glad that I could help you today. Bye-bye.